Today we're going to be having a look at all the tanks in the house because it's been about 7 months since I last showed you them and I haven't shown you them for a while. So let's get into it. So I wanted to do this video for a couple of reasons. So obviously it's been about 7 months since I last showed you around the tanks, and we've set a few things up in that time, we've changed a few things, and it's about time that we just have a quick update really. I want to show you how the tanks are looking today, talk about the stocking, talk about the plants, and yeah, talk about any future plans really. So first thing is, and the title of the video really is, for fish tanks, has it been a success? Well, yeah, it's been a massive success. So as I say, yeah, it's been 7 months since we last did a tank tour video, and I wanted to do this video because obviously we've been doing lots of things since that time. We've changed things in the tanks, we've added fish, taken fish out, rescaped, or done all that sort of thing. So a lot has changed, and I want to just go through each tank with you and just show you how it's looking today really. Also going to talk about a few sort of plans which are coming up in the future. And yeah, I mean, for those of you that don't know, in 2006 I got my first aquarium, and in 2011 I sold it and I gave up the hobby effectively until 2 years ago. So back in 2006 I only ever had one tank, and I suppose for a lot of people keeping multiple tanks can be quite daunting. But has it been a success? It's been a massive success and I'm very happy, and it's been a lot easier than I thought. In fact, it's been much easier to keep more tanks than to just keep one. So without further ado, let's get to the first tank and we can have a talk about it. So we'll start with the tank that started it all off again really in 2023. This is currently the Tetra Community tank. So this tank's been doing really well, but we have had some issues. So currently we've got some red-tailed penguin tetras in here as well as the cardinal tetras. We've also got some black phantom tetras. And this was home to 2 apistogrammas. We had a pair of apistogramma macmasteri. Now, unfortunately, they both passed away under sort of similar circumstances. And I think what it was down to is, if I show you the sand layer here, so you see these sort of bits of gravel, quite sort of round and quite small in size. I have a feeling that as the cichlids have been sifting through this sand, they may have picked up some of this gravel, which is round, and it might have got dislodged in their throats, basically. And I think that might be why I lost them, because since I've set this tank up in this current sort of version, that's the 3rd apistogramma I've had, and they've all died under similar circumstances. So I'm not currently keeping any more cichlids in this tank for the time being, just because I want to make sure that that is the case, and if it is, we may have to sort of take all that out or even rescape this tank possibly. The other thing is, these red-tailed penguin tetras are absolutely stunning fish, but they are a nightmare. So this tank's had a few treatments recently just to clear up some bacterial issues. These fish, these red-tailed penguin tetras, they batter each other, and I'm not even exaggerating, they absolutely batter each other, to the point that we've had cloudy eyes, I think we've had a couple of losses, and yeah, they're one of those fish that they're stunning to look at. I don't think I would keep them again, just because of the nature of them. They're very aggressive really for tetras. So as you can see, in terms of plants, we have all this Vallisneria at the back here, which has gone absolutely crazy, and it's doing really, really well. What I tend to do is just trim the tops off, just so it stays sort of nice and compact really. We do have some that's trying to poke out through here, which is a bit of a pain because I can't nip it off, so I'm having to just cut it for the time being, and it grows back really fast. This I've been asked a few times about. This is Cryptocorini mix. It's by Aquadip, so I don't think it's a specific one. I think it is just like a mixed plant. So there's a few of those. There's one there and one there, and then there's one on this side as well. And then we've got Anubias nana. We've got Bucephalandras in the middle there. Don't ask me which ones they are because I'm not too sure. But we've got some nice flowers on there at the moment, which is pretty cool. Another one there which is going to flower. In fact, we've got 2 here actually which are going to flower soon. And then there is a Java Fern Windelov just at the back there, which is not doing great, but it is starting to come back a little bit. So the lighting on this is a Superfish Scaper LED, which I absolutely love. These lights are absolutely brilliant, especially if they are, if you pick the right one for your tank size. If you don't, you can get a lot of algae problems because they're very powerful lights. But as you can see, that is the kind of plant growth you can get from them. This is a low-tech tank, so there's no CO2 in this at all. This just has 50% water changes on a weekly basis and liquid fertilizer added to it. Filtration on this tank is all built in. So it's a filter compartment there, which is like a series of chambers, and then we've got a return pump at the end there. Our plans for this tank at the moment are to kind of keep it the same. However, and we'll talk about it a little bit more in a minute, I may be swapping the fish around with this tank and the other 60 centimetre tank, which is to the left of me, so we can do a rescape. So this is a second community tank that I've got in this room. So we've recently added the risers on this Haiger light here, just to bring it a bit more off the surface level. This tank, again, this tank's been doing okay, but it is getting to the point now where the substrate layer is sort of depleting nutrients. We're not getting as good plant growth as we used to, and it's generally looking a little bit tired. This is home to Harlequin rasboras and some rummy nose tetras there as well. We've got honey gourami, quite a few shrimp as well in this tank, and we also have some CPDs, which you can just see at the top there. So yeah, this tank is doing okay. The epiphytes are doing great, as you can see there. There's a Nubius, I think it's Nana Mini. That's doing fantastic. We've got a lovely Bucephalandra Kedagang there, which again is doing great. We've got an Anubias coin there, which again, fantastic. But we are struggling at the back with Hygrophilus siamensis 53B, which if I show you over the top, it looks okay from there, but it's becoming very leggy. Now it will bounce back, but it is struggling with the substrate a little bit. Now I could add root tabs, but I just feel like this is probably time for a rescape. The filter there is looking a little bit slow, so that probably needs a good clean as well. It's a Filto Smart Thermo 100 by Awaza that we're using. And then on this side, this is Rotala Blood Red, which is doing okay, but it's very slow growing. So I think it's probably getting time for a rescape. However, a lot of these epiphytes, especially that boost there, we can reuse. So I'm probably going to be looking at doing that. And if I do, my plan is to take these fish out and put them in the first tank I showed you, and then put those tetras into this tank when I rescape it, because I want to try and do maybe like an Amazonian sort of tank. I think that would look really cool in this. This is an Awaza Scaper Line 60, for those of you that are interested. And it's an absolutely lovely tank. So as you can see there, it's running off a Awaza Filto Smart Thermo 100. So it does have the built-in heater there, which I absolutely love the design on these. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I would like to upgrade this though, maybe to a Filto Smart Thermo 200. Don't think this tank needs a Biomaster at all. I think the Filto Smarts are good enough for a tank of this size. This is easily one of my favourites. This is a Blackwater tank that I made for my betta. So as you can see, so the tank is a Superfish Scaper 45. So it's a 10-gallon aquarium, 45 litres. The betta is absolutely brilliant, and there's a half moon betta called Pep. He's been called Pep. So yeah, we've got some epiphytes in there. So we've got some boosts there. We've got Anubias, and then we've got a big Anubias Barterai in the middle there. But most of the work is being done by this huge peace lily, which is absolutely thriving. Look at the health of those leaves. Absolutely thriving. Got a new leaf coming out there as well. Yeah, it's doing absolutely brilliant. The first time I've put a peace lily in a tank like this, and I'm very happy with how it's turned out. Probably like to do it on maybe a bigger scale as well at some point. So we're also running a Haiger hang-on back filter, which was sent to me by Haiger. We're still using that there, and that's just got some Seachem matrix in it. but it's absolutely doing the job for this tank. And then botanicals, we've got some jackfruit leaves and some Indian almond leaves as well. And I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, so there's another Haiger product there. That's a Haiger mini heater. Again, really good heaters. You've got an external control which tells you the temperature. In fact, I can just show you that actually. So just there, you can set what temperature you want there, and then it will just hold it at that temperature, which is really, really useful. But yeah, as I say, that peace lily's doing really healthy. We've got another peace lily there, which I'm obsessed with houseplants at the moment. This one's not doing so good, but we won't worry about that for now. And the most recent tank we've set up is this lovely African cichlid tank, which has currently got peacocks and cichlids in it. I'm absolutely loving this tank at the moment. It's obviously not from my usual style of planted aquariums, but I've always wanted a cichlid tank, and I absolutely love this one. This is just the best thing in my mind. Yeah, every time I come in, I'm just absolutely in love with it. So we will be adding some more cichlids to this probably in the near future, because we've got about 10 in here at the moment, and anybody who knows African cichlids, you do need to overstock them. So we will be adding more to this tank. So this is just Sirio stone here, and we've just got a couple of pieces of wood that we've just thrown in there just to give the pleco that's in here a bit to chew on. So yeah, there you go, absolutely stunning. So we've got, at the moment, we're running 2 filters on this, 2 external canister filters, one that side, one that side. We've also got the Seache Voyager 200 wave maker there as well, just for a bit of flow. The Eheim heater in the corner, which was supplied with the tank. So we've got the Eheim Echo Pro 300 running on one side. And we've got the Eheim Pro 2 2026 running on the other side. Which there is a video on the channel of me reviving this filter, because that filter goes back 14-15 years from when I had my first setup, and it still works. That's how good quality Eheim products are. Just moving back to this tank briefly, so there is a poll currently on my YouTube page for this tank, basically saying, do you think I should rescape it or not? At the moment, it's in favour of rescaping it, so there's still a few more days on that before I'll look at that. So it is looking incredibly likely that we will be rescaping this tank. Won't be for a few weeks yet, because I need to book some time off work. But yeah, my plan is to really give this a bit more of an open feel, because I used 2 really big pieces of wood on there, and it was okay initially, but it just feels very crowded, and the plants have suffered a little bit as a result. So I'd like to make it a little bit more open, give the fish a lot more space to swim in, but still maintain this kind of feel to it really. Maybe we'll go for something, I don't know, maybe triangular composition coming from this corner out perhaps. I'm not too sure, but yeah, let me know on the poll on my YouTube page what you think, whether we should do it or not. So I hope you've enjoyed the little update on all the tanks. I'd love to add more tanks to the house. I just don't have the room at the moment, so the best thing we can do really is to move fish around, rescape, you know, get some new plants, get some new fish, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think, like I said, it's looking incredibly likely that we'll be rescaping the Rasbora community tank. I don't know why I'm pointing over there, you can't see that. Yeah, I think if we rescape that tank, and then possibly after that maybe look to rescape this one, although this one is doing extremely well, especially with the plant growth, so I may not do that for a while yet. But yeah, I think definitely that tank over there needs to be done. Of course, we're going to be adding some African cichlids as well. Only got 10 in that tank, so we'll be adding some more of those soon. And yeah, I hope if anyone else is out there and is considering, you know, adding a second tank or a third tank, my advice to you is just go for it. You know, you're only here once. It's a very enjoyable hobby. Once you get a win on your first fish tank, you want your second one, your third one, your fourth one anyway. My concern was coming back into the hobby doing planted tanks. You know, we know that planted tanks are generally easier to keep than any other type of aquarium. However, there isn't that much difference between how you look after them at all, really. With a planted tank, you can go a little bit longer with water changes. There's people out there who just only top it up, and that's great if that works for you. With the African cichlid tanks and things like that, if you're not using plants, you are going to need to do more water changes. And you know, I'm quite satisfied in doing that. You can buy things like water change pumps. I reviewed one on the channel in the last video as well. So, you know, my advice to anybody who's looking to keep multiple tanks, just go for it. It's, in my experience so far, it's actually easier the more tanks you keep. So yeah, happy fish keeping, everyone. And I hope to see you on the next video. Don't forget to like if you've enjoyed the video. And if you want to see more videos like this, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye for now.